born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down. I was born to rise, so kick down rocks. If you don't like how I talk, I'm gonna keep on talking and walking my walk. I've lost some friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. Bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody gonna take my say. This road's been rough, but I learned to trade. It's sweat, soul, and dues I paid. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down. I was born to rise, so kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walking my walk. I've lost some friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. I ain't bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody gonna take my say. This road's been rough, but I learned to trade. It's sweat, soul, and dues I paid. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll, you can kick rocks.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm just getting started. So share, because that's how it works. The more you share, the better show we're going to have. So don't forget to share it out there. We're going to play one more tune. You know the tune. Let's see if you remember the tune. Let's see. How many of you remember this tune? Remember, share it out there.
Hello there. Thank you for joining us. This is the Rudy Bruce broadcast. You focus on the truth. I focus on the facts. People of Canada, your voice will speak a million strong. If we come together and fight what's going on. We got homeless people living in tents. Be compassionate, do not judge. Because 200,000 of us are using food banks. Where's the pride? Where's the pride? Where's our money we slave for? They cover it up. The working man is living poor. Rudy has true leadership. Speaking for the ones who are tired of this shit. Make the government officials get a grip, or everyone loses the respect. Something's wrong, open your eyes. They tell us lies, you're blinded to this and more. When you're lawn, united, we stand divided, we fall. The time will come, the day is near, we will all march. So listen with your ears, we are not zombies or fresh meat. Let's grind up the government, make compost for the maple trees. Let's avenge the deaths of the ones who have fallen. Coronavirus, opioid, we're still trying. They thought they got away scot-free. You will get the last laugh. Just wait and see. These talks we have on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe we live strong and free. Everyone does. Are you shitting? Round of applause to you and yours for tuning in. We're opening doors. This is the real movement. People, let's stand up, Canada, before we lose. We're still trying. It's all they gotta waste our free. We will get the last round. Just wait and see. These songs we have on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Let's believe it's strong and free. Everyone does. Are you kidding me? You and yours, tune in, we're open doors. This is the real movement. People that stand up Canada before we lose
Hey, welcome back to the Rudy Bruce broadcast. And as you can see, I think we got our ducks in an order. We got the Restream going, we got Starlink going, we got it all going so that we can bring you this broadcast. So, without further ado, here I am, alive and well. We have a guest in the wings by the name of Katie from the ostrich farm. But before I bring in Katie, I want to just give a little message to all the little fucking haters out there to not bother your shit. Because I find your profile this time, anywhere, on my feed or anywhere, I will block your ass from any other broadcasts that come on this broadcast. Just to let you know. Be nice, be square, and be honest with what your remarks are and stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to try find a way to kick you out of here. Because I'm not going to put up with that shit. Just to let you know. Now, just to give you a little update, I am here still on the farm and covering this event from start to finish. And there is a lot of layers to this onion. This is a whole new chapter on what's going on at the ostrich farm. And that's why I am still here and going to remain here until I bring you the whole story behind the evilness of the CFIA and its bullshit and the backing with a bullshit dictator or wanting to be a dictator, Mr. Mark Carney, the slimeball of Canada, I might add. Okay? Our government needs some serious addressing, people, okay? And this is the next chapter on this whole event that took place on November the 16th, when over 200, I think it was close to 300 ostriches were brutally, I'm saying brutally, okay, I mean, what do you call it? Slaughtered healthy ostriches. No test was ever done by the CFIA on these birds. So nobody can say, oh, they had this or they had that because they didn't have shit. They were never tested. So nobody can say the government was in the right. And in the way that they slaughtered these birds with a 22 long was totally inhumane. I'm just going to say that. Now, without further ado, I'm bringing in Katie into this conversation, and I believe she's there.
Hi. Thanks for
How
having
you
me, Ruby.
doing?
Doing okay. Just another
How are
day.
you? How are you today?
I'm good. But you want to know the honest truth, and I think the world always needs to hear it, is that there are more hard days than there are good days. And I think that's the reality of it, is that we're just fighting along in a war that if Canada stays asleep in a slumber like they have been, we are allowing agencies like the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to just keep going and gaining more power, gaining more momentum, and we're allowing them to continue on their journey of their agenda of the 2030 agenda, which we know is depopulation and control over the food supply. And I think that's what we're seeing. We saw November 6th and 7th here was a theatrical display of punishment, of power, of a warning. It was a warning to Canadians and people all over the world that if we don't rise up, that we are in for a rude awakening.
We're in
Mike,
for
Mike Rude would like that one. I
we're
always like,
in for a big ride. I agree with you.
yeah, it's a rude awakening. So, um, a lot of people don't see behind the scenes, and behind the scenes looks like a lot of pain. And the pens are empty, the straw bales are blown apart. There's casings all through the bales, casings all through our field. We have pictures of the cameras that they didn't just cut or disconnect. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency went so far to be malicious and so heinous to smash the front of our cameras off and then
Mhm.
boards. So it wasn't even that we could go plug them in after and reuse them for animals that we would have in the future that we wanted to protect. It was the fact that they actually went out to destroy.
Yeah.
As if a family wasn't going to go through enough, as if these animals weren't going to go through enough pain, but it was malicious. Malicious in the act of cutting those the straw bales open. We can't move them. So they cause, they have their own, there's its own
It's a
problem.
mess. They left behind a mess.
It's a mess. And when you drive down the highway and you pass our farm,
Mhm.
I don't know about everybody else, but I still cry. You look over and it just rushes back to November 6th, 7th,
Yeah.
and these hazmat suits pushing our babies into this kill pen that they had finally orchestrated with
Yeah, I watched it.
straw that I found out that they were buying underneath my name because no one would sell them straw. And so they bought it under my name. And that was a hard day when I found out that from a truck driver. And it is like the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has become a cartel. And they are a cartel of Canada controlling our food, our farms, and allowing nothing but, I guess, just pain and suffering. So yeah, we're in the right place and we're all going to keep talking about it. One thing I know for sure is that the world is watching and the world continues to watch. When you're at the farm here, 135 kilometers away from nowhere, you feel this small. And then you get a couple phone calls from halfway across the world and they say, we're not going to let this go. And that is so reassuring because from day one, I said, God has a plan. God knows the ending. He wrote the story. He knows that he wrote the story. He knows the ending, and we just have to have faith. But one thing I also know is that the world didn't think it would end like this in such a sacrifice for humanity. And that's what I see this as now, is that this is a sacrifice for humanity. And if we can't wake up after COVID and watching what happened play out at our farm, then we're in for a rude awakening.
You noticed in other countries what's happening there too, eh? Like
Yes.
they're rising up and they're giving her because they're after an attack. This is an attack, okay? All Canadians have to understand this, okay?
Yeah.
What the CFIA did was a brutal attack
Mm-hmm.
on healthy ostriches, okay? Never been tested. Now, let's get this straight, okay?
Yeah.
These
No.
birds were never tested.
Not one
Not
ostrich
one.
was brutally shot in the middle of the night on November 6th and the morning of the 7th, even though Canadian Food Inspection Agency chooses to lie. I walked out the front door myself and I heard the gunshots in the morning and I ran back in and I was covering my ears screaming, are they not done yet? So not one of those ostriches were ever tested.
Exactly.
And
So there was no
no,
real means, I mean, no real reason
no,
for doing what they did.
no, they had
Okay.
months. Rudy, they had months to
Exactly.
and test them. They had the offer and collaboration from the FDA and the NIH, not once, twice. And the FDA and NIH said that they would pay for the cost of the testing. They would even do the testing. So we can't even go off. Canadian Food Inspection Agency likes to say that it would have cost too much. It would have cost too much, but here we are paying millions of dollars to protect animals with our public service of the RCMP that we pay tax dollars to pay their wages, and they use them as security. So it would cost too much to test them, but we would put all this money out to protect them, to kill them. Nothing made sense. That's why the world is watching.
No,
That's
that was a lawless
Mhm.
action in my view.
Yeah,
Okay. They did this bill or whatever, but it's policy. Okay. It's not law. It's not Canadian law. Okay.
no,
In the House of Commons in, I believe, 2022 or 3 or something, they passed a piece of legislation that gave the SFIA complete so-called autonomy
yeah,
over our rights.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay. Now, this was to be challenged in court. Okay. And
mhm.
I'm going to say it outright. The way that it went through the courts was not in a proper defense. I'm going to just say that. Okay. So when it was granted a stay to go to the Supreme Court, the day that Supreme Court thing came through, boom, them motherfuckers were on this like pulling the trigger, ready to pull the trigger. I mean, these motherfuckers, okay? That's
Rudy,
exactly what they are, motherfuckers, okay? That
they
came
are.
out here that day and did the dirty shit they did, okay? That's the best way for a layman to explain it in
Yeah, you're
plain
right.
English,
So a
okay?
lot of people never saw it that way. I didn't even see it
I
that way.
did. I
No,
seen it that way.
but until it was, we're so wrapped up in faith and we're following our faith is so important to us, leading us along this journey. And we've
Yeah,
never been closer to faith in
yeah.
during this process. But when we got granted the interim stay, we were so proud. We were so happy, and the world was happy. Everybody finally thought, oh my gosh, they're looking at it. There's some justice here. But then when you look back at it now, you go, holy crap. The Supreme Court of Canada granted a stay to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. They didn't grant us the stay. They granted a stay to garner enough time for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to prepare for the biggest massacre in Canadian history about on animals and a family.
Mm.
And when the Canadian Food Inspection Agency said we're ready, the Supreme Court of Canada said we have a decision, and their decision came down. And you don't just have professional marksmen waiting in the field. We're 100. Remember this geographically to all your audience. 135 kilometers away from a major city. So these professional marksmen just didn't drive out in the next hour, and they called them and said, "Oh boy, we they lost. We need you here now." They were here.
Oh, yeah. They were
Those
ready.
professional marksmen.
Everything was ready to go.
Their tents were up. Yeah, everything was up. So again, I think it's really important for the general public and for Canadians and people around the world to understand that how deep does the corruption go, and where have we lost our sovereignty, and where are our rights? If we allow them to continue on, they're only going to get more powerful. They're only going to get more. They're only going to go. It's just going to keep going on and on. And there will be no pushing this back at some point. I said today I was having an interview with Castanet, and I said, and eventually, what do you think happens? Because so CFIA's big thing is, we'll go get new animals. Just go get some more. What happens when they've killed everything and there's no place to get any more animals?
Yeah, exactly.
Those,
Makes sense.
yeah, and those animals. I want to take it a step further for people, because I think what's really important here that we've been fighting for is that the animals have immunity. They have antibodies that have been passed down. If we want to just break it down into like grade 5 level, the mom who's went, of a cow has went through environmental challenges, and she's built up her antibodies, and then she goes down and she has a baby, and then the baby's drinking her milk, and then the baby now has her antibodies, so they have a firewall to more than they were ever born with. But when we destroy everything, nothing is being born with a firewall of memory anymore. So these animals are dying without being tested, without proof of disease, without proof of virus. And we're losing everything. So we're losing our genetic diversity, we're losing our biodiversity, and we're putting humanity at risk.
This isn't just happening. Let me tell you, this just everybody. This isn't just happening here in Canada.
No.
This is happening in other countries, and people are rising up in a lot of places over this same shit that has taken place here in Canada. Only here it was very brutal, okay, and very noticeable, and out in your face over the fact that these birds were never tested, okay?
Never.
They can never say to us that these birds had a disease, okay? There's nothing there, because no test means what the hell?
And you know what? I like to go down. One thing I really love about your broadcast, Rudy, is it's pretty raw. So a lot of people like to stay to a narrative, but you allow the open floor to really discuss the hard topics, which, so not one of those animals were tested. Months and months of begging, just test them. Then the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, if we had such a virulent threat of avian influenza, had not been on our farm since February 26th. So they were not doing their due diligence as an agency to monitor and protect the public. Then that garnered a ton of division. So we know you want to talk about CTV asked me, what are your feelings on, on the division in the community and what this has done, where people feel like you guys have put them at risk?
Can I interrupt you just for a sec? Let me interrupt you for a sec.
Yeah.
Canadian anti-psycho music. Listen to this. This guy wrote this. I'm going to read this to you. Hey, Rudy, please ask Katie about the blood they took from their supporters.
Oh, good. I love this question.
That's a good one, hey? Okay, so I gave a pint last week, and someone else gave a pint the week before. What fucking bullshit, okay?
No,
I mean, this fucking guy, Canadian anti-psycho music bullshit.
No,
like,
Rudy.
Are you on your fucking head, man?
So, Rudy, I love this. No, I love this. It is not against the law or science to test your own blood. So you know what we did? There was a few of us, this is months ago. So a few of us were sitting around the table. We've been here for months and we've been supporting these animals. We're watching 100 days healthy, 120 days healthy. We're watching how healthy these animals are, but they're claiming that, this is like COVID, the fear mongering and the propaganda, and that how scary this is. So we thought, we have an amazing scientist and he's on board. Absolutely. And you know what Dr. Pellick said? He's like, you know what? If you just a drop of blood, we can test your blood to see what your antibodies are. And that was so exciting. So a bunch of us voluntarily said, you know what? We're going to poke our finger. We're going to put some blood on, whatever.
So it wasn't a pint.
No, it wasn't a pint. And it definitely wasn't a booth at the front that you had to get your blood tested to have entry. It definitely wasn't like Red Cross. So, we weren't ostrich. Yeah. We were some supporters and family that decided, you know what? This is one more propaganda and fear mongering narrative that we could dispel by just being voluntary to take our own blood and see what's in your antibodies. You know, so to this gentleman who's talking about the blood, it was never against the law to take our own blood. Like,
Consent is
go take
consent
your own
there,
blood. Go
buddy.
take your own blood. Go to Red Cross
Shit.
Outpost and donate your
Consent is
blood.
consent.
Consent
Okay?
is consent.
If I
Yeah.
want to consent maybe half my fucking finger, that's my
We
choice.
won't take,
Okay?
we won't take that.
I mean, that's pretty brutal, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if my consent was there to do something, that's my
So
business,
again,
not that guy's.
do you know
Okay?
how exciting it was?
That's
Rudy?
retarded.
Do you know how excited it was? How excited we were to actually see.
Yeah.
So Canada, wake up. You have a cold, you have a flu, you get better, you recover, you have antibodies to the cold. You have
Exactly. Your body takes care of certain things.
But I will never say that no one will die from avian influenza, because people pass away and die from the normal flu all the time. Immune compromised, elderly, maybe, I don't know what has happened, but there's people that die from the common flu. So when do we stop the fear mongering, especially after what we just went through with COVID-19? And when do we wake up and say, stop fear mongering me? And we're going to use science-led based decisions, stop destruction over discovery, stop, creating this hype. And when do we realize how strong our bodies are? Right. And Canadian Food Inspection Agency said, or maybe it was on news station, said we were setting a dangerous precedent by fighting for our animals. No, we were setting the right precedent. And what happened is, when we were setting the precedent, was that their dangerous precedent that was being set was that antibodies don't exist, your body can't heal, and that immunity doesn't exist. Yeah. So when you start to teach your children that antibodies and immunity don't exist and that your body is capable of repairing itself, we're in a world of hurt.
Exactly. Let me add this. When COVID hit, okay, tons and tons of information came out about exactly what you're talking about regarding the immune system.
Yeah.
And the government.
Wait, Rudy, community for immunity. That was Bonnie Henry. Community for immunity, herd immunity. Yeah. But herd immunity doesn't exist anymore.
But the government was putting out a totally negative thing, and they were building up for that jab. Okay. Yeah. When that jab came out, okay, that jab has done more harm to us as a people, okay, than what you can imagine. Now, in this situation here, okay, where the CFIA is coming in onto your property and say, oh, your cattle got to be taken out, and they just, boom, that's the food supply, ladies and gentlemen. That's the farm, okay? Where do you think that we get our friggin' food from, okay? The farm, okay? It all starts at the farm, okay? So now they've gone and done the COVID bullshit job on us, okay? And now look at it here, November 16th, the way they friggin' did these ostriches. And now you look at around the world on the global scale, and they're doing the exact same shit, okay? They are affecting the farmers, okay? Yeah. That's our food supply.
So you are so right. And what COVID did was tear apart families, leave elderly, left elderly dying alone in their homes.
Oh, yeah.
Disrupted our whole healthcare industry.
Yeah.
And feared us that we had to take something for survival.
Big time.
And now here we are again. So, and then I like to put this because we're going through industry. So our truck drivers were heroes forever. They pumped them up. They're like, they're heroes during COVID and they're delivering supplies. And then they became villains. They're like, you have to get vaccinated to keep your job. Then they did it. Then they went on to the healthcare workers. Healthcare workers, heroes working in the night, 24-hour shifts, and their masks and the indents in their face. And they were heroes, which they are heroes. But if you don't take the vaccination now, you lose your job. You're a hero. But if you don't comply, I love comply or die. If you don't comply, now you lose your job. And now we're on to our agricultural sector. So where does it stop? Canada, where does it stop? Now we're on to our food supply. So they took over our healthcare. They've decapitated our healthcare. Our good doctors, our nurses, that all were such amazing human beings that couldn't keep their job if they didn't comply. And now we're on to our farmers. So Canada purchased 550,000 doses in February of 2025 of H5N1 vaccinations. When you start doing the math, the minute I heard about it, I Googled and I was commercial, food farms and farmers. And I was like, holy this is, they're coming after our farmers.
Exactly.
You don't take a vaccination, you can't have your animals. And so it's history repeating itself, where we don't stand up and come out of our hibernation slumber, Canada, that we are on the trajectory for just another set of mandates, but these ones will be harder. We are on a trajectory for another set of vaccinations and rules and regulations that if you don't put this poison into your body, that the universal ostrich could have stopped.
Listen
and
to
that
this.
And that's why we're here.
Listen to this. England, France, Greece, and Australia are killing farm animals like crazy. Wildlife is not safe either. Silence is consent. Get informed, get involved. We are running out of time. That's a comment.
Get involved, use your voice. It's the most powerful weapon and tool out there. Universal Ostrich just proved it. And we took a hit for Canada.
Big time.
It makes me emotional for that, because
big time. But we're all here for you, Katie.
The good Lord did not just sacrifice our animals to be massacred in the way that they were for no good reason. God has a plan. I have to keep telling my mom that every day, and I have to keep reminding myself that of every day. God has a plan, and all we have to do is just keep being his shepherds and his light and his voice. We just have to keep using what the government is so afraid of is our voice.
Yeah.
The minute you stop talking, the minute you stop fighting, and the minute you stop,
silence is consent.
Silence is consent. And that's why they didn't like us so much, is because we created so much noise.
Yeah.
That I am so proud of. I am so proud of the noise we created. Sometimes I forget about how big of noise we created.
Yeah,
but
me too.
We created a global movement of understanding and awakening that without our farms, we are nothing. Without our animals, we don't have hope. And I choose a life where my children, my grandchildren will see cows in the field. I want my children to know what it's like to pet a cow. There was a lot of people, I made a post a little while ago. A lot of people don't know about me, but because a lot of people think I'm so hyper-focused about the ostriches, and I am. But we're a family of animals. I have 3 cows. I have goats. I have pigs. And mine are not for food consumption, again. Mine are just, mine are pets. But you see the value. You see the compassion in these animals' eyes that understand I can call my cow from my front door and my cow will come running. I call his name and he comes running for breakfast. They're intelligent beings that have feelings. And when I know with the animals that I was raised with, these ostriches that have been our life, when I know that when they were in that kill pen, we taught them to trust humans, and they were dancing. I keep bringing this up because that was probably one of the most painful images in my mind, is that one of our biggest roosters was dancing his way into the kill pen while they pushed him, because he was probably thinking he's going to get fed, and he was probably thinking he's going to get loved, because that's what we do. And he danced his way into the kill pen. And then we had a protector. We had roosters that were protecting. They protect the perimeters. And one of our roosters that was the biggest protectors couldn't catch. So Canadian Food Inspection Agency You want to know what they did, world? They gunned them down. And if this isn't a warning for what is in store for Canada, and if they can do this to our animals, what are they going to do to us?
Yeah,
And,
exactly. We're next. Don't kid yourself. That's
and
in S206.
yeah, and then
The bill.
and then again, sorry, I have so much on my mind, but it was like,
Oh, that's
the
okay.
bill. So here we are now. We're looking at April of next year. Just found out that Canadian Food Inspection Agency is at it again. If we don't stop them, Canada, Canadian Food Inspection Agency wants you to do livestock tracking movement logs. So,
Oh,
if
wow.
you want to sell a goat, one goat to your neighbor, so this is how I've gotten my pigs. I mean, I had two pigs that someone didn't whatever want, and a couple goats. It was the not misfits, and that's how I built my little farm. Um, if you ever want to do any of that anymore, come next year, you have to do a movement log with the government. You have to have a resident ID, so your premise ID. So you're going to have to register with the government to have your pigs, your goats, your chickens, your anything, your cows, and then there will be a movement log. So if you want to move one animal and sell one goat to your neighbor, you have to contact the government and let them know that you've sold a goat to your neighbor. So again, where do we stop? Where do we stop this? And so Canadian Food Inspection Agency didn't stop with the ostriches. They're well on their way to taking away more of your freedoms, more of your rights. And I always think back to like the 1900s, and I think about, the daughter out there, or son out milking the cow, bringing in, the mom's working her butt off, and she's making the cheese, and she's making what she milk and butter. And not once did they think about, oh, is CFIA or some agency going to call us? They were thinking about survival. And we're almost back there now. We need to start thinking about survival. What do you
Okay,
need to?
I'm getting a lot of people wanting to show support. If you want to show support, go ahead, knock it out, Katie.
Oh, you can go to saveourostriches@gmail.com. You can go to my own Facebook page, which is Katie Pasitny on Facebook. Trying to do as many updates and lives. Accountability doesn't look loud and fast. So definitely with the ostriches gone, our identity we've been trying to find this new identity where if you can't touch it, you can't see it. This has been my own thing. It feels like you've been stripped away from how do I fight this? And I think that's what Canadians are feeling right now. Well, I can't touch it and I can't see it. So what am I fighting for? But they're forgetting that it's your rising meat costs. It's your rising food costs. It's your lack of availability in your choices for good and healthy nutritional food. And so, so you can go to my page, and I'm trying to do posts. Katie Pasitny on Facebook, saveourostriches@gmail.com, and send us messages. And you know what? You can mail us. One of my biggest requests was mailed prayers. I asked for people. Everybody thinks that we're getting cards full of money. There has been this whole ignorant misconception, but they missed my posts where I asked everybody to send us prayers. And I am so proud that every one of your cards and every one of your prayers are going into, I want to create a book for Canadians to read these prayers and bring hope for justice. So you can mail us prayers. That's another way to support us. I can post a link, or Rudy, maybe you could post the
Yeah,
address.
we'll post it up on my feed. It'll be in the broadcast group. It'll be everywhere.
That's
It'll
how
be
we stand together.
savetheostriches.com. In that website, there's a donation spot. You can push on that, and boom, you
And
can make a good donation.
fighting doesn't come with no cost. Where the
This is
biggest
a big battle. Let me tell you. Let me enlighten you. Okay, this is a huge battle. Okay, we're also in getting in. Katie, you're also getting involved in a society or not a society, but
It's not going to be
a
a
project.
federation, but
What do you call that?
we're looking at creating a platform that's
Hmm?
going to add a layer of protection for farmers, where farmers are involved in making the consented decisions regarding their animals, regarding their farm, regarding their future. And
Right.
it will have an area where money will be gathered so that there's access for farmers to have
Uh,
financial aid. In
yeah.
moments like this, you wouldn't have to do what we've done and taken the slander and the hit, but you just have access to good lawyers and money
Mhm.
to fight these
And
battles. Because
that's the
when
big battle here. Yeah.
yeah, when the government realizes that farmers have resources to fight back,
Exactly.
they'll think twice. Yeah.
Exactly. And right now, everybody's spread out across Canada, and not, not like, for example, the grain thing. Okay, when the I forget what the name of the organization was, but it was like farmers that grew grain, and they kind of got together and they went into a pool. Okay, so that they could sell their grain at a decent price and blah blah blah. This, on the other hand, okay, is a problem for all Canadians because this is the food supply, people.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a rush on this. Okay. There's an urgency for this.
Yes, there
And
is.
this is not fucking around. This is all of us, not just farmers. Okay. This is all Canadians across Canada realizing that this government has gone a little wanky here, worse than Trudeau. Okay. This is a bigger fight than what Trudeau gave us.
Let's
This
let's
is huge. This is
let's
bigger.
talk, Rudy. Let's talk about something that I haven't talked about on a live yet, actually, and that was that
Wow.
our own
Good one.
our own prime minister
Yeah.
laughed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Audience-
I seen that little piece.
The
I see it.
audience,
What a joke.
the
What a
audience.
fucking joke. He's
So
a
they brought
he's
up,
a slime ball, that guy.
but they brought up the belugas, and there
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
big laughter. And then he said,
Yeah.
"I'd never thought that I would be dealing with ostrich."
Mm.
And the elite
Laughed.
audience lit
Yeah.
up in
Laughed.
laughter.
Yeah.
You
Laughed at it.
tell
Yeah.
me that that's our government. But you know what? I
Yeah.
want to say thank you. Thank you,
Mm.
Mark Carney, for exposing yourself more.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Exactly.
showing us your true colors. Thank you. Thank you, Mark
Yeah.
Carney. Because
For sure.
at the end of the day, you just showed more of your true colors and why we should fight harder and why Canadian farmers in our agricultural sector should rise up. So again, thank you, Mark Carney.
Yeah.
Thank you
For sure.
for exposing, the belly of the beast. Again,
Exactly what he did
belly
too.
of the beast is Canadian Food Inspection
It,
Agency.
it was beyond sick. It was like, holy fuck. Are you that friggin' arrogant?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure, and
Really?
he sure is. And he sure is.
Unbelievable. Okay,
Yeah.
this guy. Okay.
After I know the letters that man got, after I know that the scientific based evidence that guy got, and he still allowed this to happen when it could have put Canada on the map for doing something great to mitigate the viral risk of avian influenza globally. It all boils down to back to one of those harder topics, another topic that I know we can always discuss with you. But why was Canadian Food Inspection Agency doing work on our farm at 2:30 to 4:30 in the morning at the back of the quarantine? Why were there dumpsters going in and out of here like a no man's land? There was dumpsters going in and out of here with police presence.
Mhm.
And then at the end of the day, when they killed all of our babies on November 6th and 7th, there was not 314 laying in that field. Where are our ostriches, Canada? Where are our ostriches? We're asking, we're waiting for that whistleblower, because I'm promising you that this is just too big for not
Mhm.
someone to not have the empathy and not someone to have the compassion and say, I'm going to get you home. I'm going to get you home to your loving family who misses you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you home. So where are the rest of our ostriches that the Canadian government stole? And I know it sounds like a conspiracy, but
Yeah, there was a loss of X number of birds
if you didn't know,
before it happened. There was a loss of birds.
If you
Because we
didn't,
kept asking him, what's the count? What's the count? And oh, an RCMP officer actually put a drone up in the air, was
right?
going to tell you, and he got severely reprimanded, and he couldn't tell you.
No. And if you were here for the last year, you wouldn't feel like it's a conspiracy. We went through times where we were like, we're seeing drones. And then we got totally lit up for that drones in this farm, and they're seeing things, and and then sure enough, those same drones the size of car hoods showed up with the RCMP. So we knew what we were seeing for months prior.
Mhm.
Then we had ostriches shot. Nobody believed us.
Mhm.
And the RCMP did nothing to find out an investigation of our animals that were shot in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
And then we have so to think that we thought too, we questioned ourselves. Believe me, we're human. We questioned ourselves. Are we seeing this? Like, is this really happening? And then it was all validated September 22nd when the RCMP came in with hundreds of police officers.
Oh, yeah.
And
Unbelievable.
so you can't now, when we know that we're missing ostriches, we don't feel so silly. And we don't feel so silly saying it either. Where are our ostriches? Why?
Mhm.
Where are they? Are they in Saskatchewan? Are they in Ontario? Are they with Angela Rasmussen in her laboratory where she wanted to do devil fingers and say, "Yeah, I'm celebrating the ostrich call"? You want to know? It wasn't an ostrich call; it was an ostrich massacre.
Yeah, exactly.
And
The
so,
worst slaughter I ever had to be witness
so
or be
who has
around.
who
It was
has our
horrible.
who has our babies? Who has our genetics? And who's going to benefit off the science that we offered the government for free?
Yeah, exactly. And I believe that for a minute because government are nothing but a bunch of, I
Yeah.
don't know, they're twisted kind of people. Okay. They don't make things better, they make things worse. It's further across the board than just what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got homeless in Canada across the board,
Yeah.
and it's wintertime. They're out there in tents, okay, in the worst conditions. It's minus 27 or more or war in Saskatoon. It's cold, okay? And yet again, another winter, these homeless people are out there, okay? And they're going through some pretty friggin' tough times. Now, this scenario is this is the food supply, okay? This is your food supply. How long is it going to be before you're going to personally get affected with this bullshit of Jesus, the prices are through the roof for beef or whatever the shortage is. There's going to be a high price to pay in
Very.
order to get, say, eggs, maybe, or
We've
okay,
seen it already. Egg prices skyrocketing. I went to go and get a turkey, and I was blown away by the selection. It was they didn't even look good in the outside of the bag. I like they were, I was and I all right because at least we've been in this situation. I was able to look at it and go, holy crap, look at what we're killing. We're killing all of these turkeys. And another thing that we've learned in the last year, did you know that 98% of your turkeys are coming from, if they're commercial poultry turkeys, are coming from Hendrix Genetics in the Netherlands? And so they're genetically modified turkeys coming out of the Netherlands that are being shipped across our ocean and
mm,
supplying our farms for turkey. And how we found that out was the one exemption that Canadian Food Inspection Agency made was for a genetic turkey farm. And when we looked into the redacted statement of the blacked out part and put in the coordinates, it's Hendrix Genetics. So it's a Hendrix Genetics genetically modified turkey farm. And that's where all of our turkeys are coming from.
isn't
So
that interesting to know?
isn't it interesting to know the things? And so when people, please be patient with me because I've been on a year learning curve. When I was that person who was getting the groceries, making the dinner, taking care of her own farm, helping with her mom and the farm, and my dad, who's a paraplegic, just going about my day. And then we got put into this position where it was a year of a deep dive of red pills, learning that, holy, this has been happening the whole time. This is, we don't even stand a chance. And we're taking every legal we're doing this legally and we're doing everything right. And we definitely are those people too, are very a little bit what is the word? We're we just not innocent, but we're kind of like what is the word? There's a word for it. We almost think we're naive, and
Going.
we always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. We're going,
Yeah, we
no,
go into the grocery store, we see it, we buy it.
yeah,
We're
and we
not
go,
going to test it, we eat it,
yeah,
right?
and
Half the
when we
time,
see,
I don't even read the ingredients. I got no time for that shit.
yeah,
Okay. I'm just going on stuff I know I've eaten before.
yeah,
And what happened to me, yeah, what was it, November 19th or 20th? I
yes.
was rushed to the hospital. Okay.
Thank God you were here.
Yeah, I
We
have to
care
I
about
agree
you.
with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had no idea I was having a ruptured aorta.
Hmm.
Okay. I thought it was something else. Okay. So when I came to in the hospital and all this information's hitting me, like, holy shit, right?
Hmm.
Like, really,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even get a drink of water. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to drink off a sponge for I
Sure
don't know
did.
how many days.
I put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
I
And
was like,
I felt like I woke up in some kind of concentration camp or some fucking thing. Okay.
you kind of
Like
did.
really, I mean, the first few hours, I'm thinking, holy fuck, I should be dead, man. This is worse than being dead. It's bad. You know what I mean? Like it's not like before where you've got the freedom to get up, get a glass of water or something to drink or whatever.
And
You're
so,
stuck
and
on
so you know
that
what?
bed,
So Rudy,
and that's
you know
it.
what? Your situation
Yeah.
is a great metaphor to exactly what we're going through.
Yeah.
You have this life,
Exactly. On top of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
your life, and you're living it, and
Oh yeah.
all of a sudden, it affects you, and you
Yeah.
have to use the system. So there's so many of you that don't have to use the system yet. But the
Mhm.
minute your life depends on it, and the livelihood and your
You find
animals
out.
depend on it, you're going to
Yeah.
find out what we're fighting for. And you're going to find out that we're fighting for you. And we're going to find out, you're going to go, holy crap, this is what they were trying to change. And you're going to wake up in a concentration camp of government elite. And you're going to wake up in a concentration camp of Canadian Food Inspection Agency. And your animals will be in a concentration camp, and they're going to be starving, and they're going to be putting through being put through some of the most horrific conditions when you've spent 35 years protecting them, and you have no say. You
Yeah.
have no say. Instead, you're going to be charged by Canadian Food Inspection Agency for continuing to feed your animals while they prepare, just to ethically maintain some sort of level of commitment to your animals and love and safety. That they will be minimally like they'll be less affected by the changes around their whole environment that are going to happen, and all of the fears that they're going to feel. All you want to do is mitigate that. You want to just give them some sort of normalcy, and we were arrested for that. So your story is a great metaphor to what Canada's fighting for. If you don't wake up, and you don't have to
I'm actually
the system before you have to use the system.
yeah, but I did a show two shows ago, I think.
Hmm.
I explained in that show how fucked up shit was. Okay. Like I went to the hospital twice before I went and hit the floor. Okay. I
Yeah.
was in the hospital twice because of a phone call I got from Saskatoon, the clinic, because I had a blood test done there first before I came here. They
Hmm.
phoned me that morning and told me something's up. So go see a doctor right away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of scared me. So I went to the hospital. Okay. And I said what happened and blah, 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 blah. And anyway, they did a blood test. They tell me that day, well, your kidneys are operating at 51%. Well, that's good, I guess. I'm not a doctor. At
Yeah.
least it's not zero. Okay. So, okay, what next? Okay. Well, you can go home now. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The next day, I'm back at the hospital over another pain. It's like, holy shit. And then the third day, I'm on the ground, and that's go time. Okay. It took me I think it was 4 hours more to get to surgery. And it was code 3 after I did the CT scan.
Yes.
and it was code 3 to the Kelowna hospital. Okay.
Mhm. You almost
And
died.
I wake up and everybody's saying to me, you're pretty lucky to be alive,
Yeah,
buddy.
you were.
Okay. You're very lucky. And I'm kind of looking at him wondering, what the fuck are you talking about? I was already, going to try and find out what was wrong. Why did I have to go through this trauma on the third day
Yeah.
when something was up? Okay. And nobody bothered to take another step of another test or another this or that.
Yeah.
Okay. Just go home, have a nice day. So the third day was it. And everything went good. I mean, as far as I am, I'm still here.
Except for everybody thought you were dead.
Oh, yeah, that came out. And that lit up the switchboard at the hospital.
We had to. Sorry.
Like, holy crap.
You
You
can
know,
only laugh about this because I was stuck outside the doors of the hospital for your poor daughter, trying to prove to your daughter you're not dead.
right.
And they were keeping me outside of your hospital doors. And they're like, no, we're on lockdown because everyone's calling here thinking he's dead.
Holy shit.
And
Yeah. It,
I
it
don't
was
trust the government,
unbelievable.
and I don't trust the government, so I don't know if you're actually dead. So
It was a fiasco, just me. And then they find out, oh, this guy's something, and so on and so on. So anyway, you finally got in there. We finally got to meet. And then you told me all this stuff, okay, which really blew my mind because, like, I'm stuck there on a hospital bed, can't do shit, okay?
well, because you know what you found out too, Rudy, was so a lot of people don't understand how this farm has become a place of uniting,
Mm-hmm.
sharing, and healing.
Yes.
And what happened in the last 40 days, 40 plus days, we have had all of our ostriches murdered in the middle of the night with supporters locked out on the highway, RCMP not giving any warning that the shootings were going to start. All of this stuff is happening. And then we had Tom pass away,
Yeah, Tom passed away.
a
Right in
beautiful,
front of my trailer, by the way.
beautiful supporter. God bless his soul, but he found family in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He loved being here, and we loved Tom. And then we had Donna. You were in the hospital when Donna
Yeah.
passed. And Donna's son passed away, and she from COVID vaccinations, and she was so angry at the government. And she
Yeah.
showed up here, and she said if she didn't find here to be, she would have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so she came here with so much pain. And then a few months in, she's helping in the kitchen. She was sharing her stories. She brought her son's clothes here to donate. It was a place of healing. So while you're in there, and while everything has happened this last 40 plus days, we've went through personal loss on a supporter level of supporters that are not just supporters, but have become family.
So this became more
Yeah.
than just the ostriches now, okay?
Yes.
For you
Yeah.
guys. I mean, you guys have been fantastic with this. Not only did you stand up and say no to the government, okay, but you
Doing that
also brought in people and seen the hurt in these people
so much.
and
And they saw the hurt in us, and everybody's been so good.
joined. Everybody kind of joined together
Everybody
and
joined
helped
together.
each other. And that's kind of where the supporters are at now.
Yeah.
These guys are hanging on because they believe in this as I do. And this is a battle for all Canadians. And I'm going to sit here until I see this all through because this is a huge story. It falls on everything.
It
You know what I
does.
mean? It touches everything. And I over 10 years now, most of my supporters know my show is about the corrupt government and the bullshit that's coming on to the people, blah, blah, blah. So this is right up my alley. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course I am loud too. So I mean that goes with, that goes without saying.
He bounced back fast, public. Just so you all know, this guy bounced back faster than I've ever.
I
And
still got a pain or two, but I'm gonna get over that.
And he says when
But
we're in there, he goes, everybody thought that we were like basically we were marketing you in the hospital because we're like,
oh
do you want to
geez.
do a live? And he goes, I want to do a live and tell everybody I'm not going anywhere.
There you go.
And it was perfect. And you brought us so much just smiles after we finally got into you because you were under lockdown because you were
Yeah, well.
dead.
They didn't know what they exactly had when all this shit started going down at the hospital.
You can't make this stuff up. What's happened
No.
in the last year? Like laughter. Oh man. We have a supporter that's just been around here and she's laughing. So much pain, laughter. We have laughed away some of the biggest pain at our table.
Yeah.
By just looking at each other and going, we're all hurting, like,
Yeah.
but God brought us all together to do this
Yeah.
beautiful
I
plan.
think so too, because
Yeah.
I'm living proof. I mean, if I had gone somewhere else or did a different story or blah blah blah, yeah, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, so I mean, it all fit like a glove. You know
We're
what I mean?
all
It was
we're all
like,
here for a reason. And
yeah,
remember that a country that stays united has the ability to change its future. It's become one of my
yeah,
biggest things is a country united has the ability to change its future.
yeah,
Just remember that, Canada, that the more division that the government loves, while you're fighting about teachers and unions and um, different ethnic groups and immigration and transgender and rights, we're losing ours. And we're not losing, it's not on an independent level. Like we're losing our food rights, we're losing our land rights, we're losing our independence, and we're losing our sovereignty. So the biggest tool in the toolbox from the end of time or the decades, I don't think end of time, but like age old tool in the toolbox, division. As long as
mhm.
we all stay fighting each other, they're passing bill C3, they're passing they're going was it C9 is the big one. I know about our freedom of speech and what we're allowed to, they could just
Yeah,
flick
that's
off.
the big one.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was never one that read bills. Wake up, Canada.
exactly.
Rise up, Canada. Read the
Yeah,
bills
exactly.
because those bills are going to affect your future. And if you
Bill
don't think,
S-206.
yeah,
That's the real like Trojan
that's
horse.
okay. Yeah.
S-206
Yeah.
has got to be defeated. Okay, that is a Trojan
Yes.
horse bill.
Hey, Rudy, I have a question for all of your listeners.
Go
How would
ahead, shoot.
how would everybody feel about I do like to read, but I like to have everything in one place. And if we have a platform, we should be creating a little bit of a newsletter of
Mhm,
upcoming bills and what they mean and why they're important to you to fight or to embrace.
mhm.
That's not all about war and fighting everything. We might have some good bills that come out. We might be surprised. But I think we should start a newsletter where Canadians can actually get educated and start to connect with the bills that are being passed
Well,
while
they
they're
joined the
working.
Rudy Bruce. They simply joined the Rudy Bruce broadcast because I talk about all that shit all the time.
Well, maybe
I'm
we should
also
start
in
a
contact
newsletter.
with Jane Scarf in Ottawa.
Yes.
She
I
is
do
right tuned
newsletter.
in. She's right tuned into what's going on with government and that sly, slippery bullshit they pull
Yeah.
and the rest of it. Okay, and I put her on the show. I'll put her on the show more. So we're already there as far as information goes. Just
Well,
tune
I
into
just
the
think
broadcast.
so personally, I love the idea of the broadcast. Personally, I'm someone who loves to watch the broadcast and say podcast, but I would also like to have something that I can read on my own time. So when
Mm,
you are letting everybody know about everything that you know what's happening,
mm.
those bills, I think it's so good. You should even just start on the Rudy Bruce podcast. You should start just even like a newsletter of like the bill that you talked about so people can understand it because I was that person 11 months ago. I didn't watch. I didn't learn about the bills. They're all being passed behind the back
Mhm.
door. And then I met Jordan Keeley and started to learn about the legislature. And when he took
Mm.
me to Ottawa and we were in the legislature and sitting up in the galley, and it was so emotional because I saw all these people in suits walk in and I just started to cry. I
Wow.
started to cry because I was like, these are the people that are making the decisions about our livelihoods and our health
Hmm.
and our families.
Oh yeah.
And when I was crying, I had a young girl come up to me in the galley and go, my first time at legislature galley, and she's like, no, no more. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, stop crying. And she gave me a Kleenex. Well, when she told me to stop crying, I started crying more. Stop crying. I'm like,
Wow.
you can't tell me to stop crying because you're not allowed any emotion in the galley. So
That's great.
what kind of government and country are we in when you have people that are visiting in the galley of our legislature and we can't show emotion to see
Yeah.
how is this affecting us?
Yeah.
And that was a real moment for me. But anyways, learning about the bills is very important for Canadians. Make it you pick up like say Calgary Sun or BC Province newspaper, BC. This is something that you should definitely learn about, and we should probably try and put on a paper is learn about the bills that are being passed that are going to affect your future and
Well,
affect.
isn't there a space in
Yeah.
SaveTheOstriches.com that a thing could be created there?
Thanks, Rudy. He's giving me the platform. He's like, stay off my podcast.
No, but I mean, that's a website,
Yes. Yes, you're right.
and we
I
want people in there because there's a
Yes.
lot of stuff going to be going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that would be a good one too.
Rudy, that is probably that's a great idea is that definitely on that platform because people are already watching it just to see the updates and what's happening with the situation
Also
here
around the world,
and
like
around the world.
with the different farms that are being affected.
Yes.
There can be so much put in. We'll talk more about that.
Look what
But
we just birthed something tonight.
there you go. That's what happens on the Rudy Bruce broadcast. You learn something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, a lot of that could be put in there, and it would be very informative to not just know about Canada, but
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is really a global thing now. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
This is more of a global thing,
did a huge
for other countries, etc.
Yeah.
And get a translation thing happening there because you've got different languages going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
So
that's a good
there's
idea.
more to come from Katie Pasitny and Rudy Bruce on that. That's for sure.
Glad to help.
Thank Rudy. Thank you and all of your listeners and everybody who's supporting and even has questions about the blood. Anybody who wants to pipe
Oh yeah,
in.
what was the outcome of that anyway?
Oh, we do. We have antibodies. So Canada, wake up. It can't be transmitted, but your body can fight off the H5N1 virus like a common cold and a flu. If we were so at risk, why did Canada allow the beaches and our waters and our lakes to be open this year for kids to swim in all summer? Because that's where migratory birds and ducks and there's feathers. I mean, I'm in Kelowna in past summers. I mean, there's always duck and geese feathers floating everywhere. So we're water.
I just got a message. A judge has denied the Crown to take Chris Barber's truck, I believe.
Yes. Yay, Chris. We love you. That is the Christmas win.
I believe that's what I saw.
Yes, it was, Rudy. I saw that earlier.
Oh, okay. You saw that too. It wasn't just me. Okay. They're not going to take Chris Barber's truck.
Yes. We stand united with you, and that is a Christmas win. That is what we're fighting for. You keep rising up. You keep using your voices, and we will create change.
There you go.
It'll happen. All right.
Okay. We've been in for an hour. Now, again, if you want to donate, if you can donate, I seriously encourage you to donate. Go ahead again.
SaveOurOstriches.com. SaveOurOstriches.com, and you can directly email, transfer us, or message us. Because if your donation is a prayer, with prayer comes what God provides. But prayer is very important to us, and you can go to saveourostriches@gmail.com. So saveourostriches.com and saveourostriches@gmail.com. And we will be seeing a rerouting and a connection for justice for our ostriches. And that doesn't just mean our ostriches. That means that our ostriches took the bullets to create the change for all of our animals.
And for us to stand up and say, that ain't happening in Canada. We got to do something about this, guys. We can't just sit and let this go. This was an overkill by government. This was worse than Trudeau. Okay, this one topped the friggin' cake. Okay, this was over the top.
Yeah, didn't even have no fancy socks. We didn't even have any fancy socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So let's end that there, Katie, and because I guess you haven't even had supper yet.
Either of you. So
How did you know? We'll leave
see.
that one for another guessing thing. Okay. Is
Okay.
there any last words you want to give?
Stronger together as the world continues to watch that a country united has the ability to change its future. So stay united and
Exactly.
cast away the division, and we will win.
For sure. For sure. Stand up and be counted and do the Canadian thing.
That's right.
Okay, Katie, thanks for coming on. And
Bye.
I
Thanks
will
for
give
having
my
me.
closing remarks.
Sounds
And
good.
I appreciate having you on.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Katie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is Katie. Now, as you just heard, there's a lot to be said about the uh, the ruthlessness that the CFIA did to this family on November 6th. It was more than ruthless. It was inhumane. I mean, it was cruelty to animals all the way to the bank, okay? This was horrendous. And as you can see around the world, there's lots of farms that are being affected. And this is more than you're going to get to know. I mean, I guess when you hit the grocery stores and you find that a steak is like out of your price range, or eggs is out of your price range, or something of that nature that you can't afford food, then you're going to understand what it is we're really talking about here. Okay. And then there's more on top of that. It's not just the food supply. They're coming after you in other ways too, with Bill S-206, Bill 9, and the rest of it. Like, it's time, Canadians, wake up, okay, and start really smelling the coffee here, because you are going to get personally affected down the road. Now, I said over 10 years ago that things were going to get worse, okay? I've been broadcasting over 10 years. And things are going to get worse. And here we are today, and things are worse, much worse. You've got how many homeless people out there trying to survive in tents now in Canada, plus this, plus that. You know the story. I don't have to go into the great big lecture of where we are as Canadians today compared to what we were 15 years ago. What is this drastic change? The drastic change is because this government is so full of crap, okay? They're trying to turn it into the same thing as China with the Chinese credit score bullshit. And if you are not going to be a good little Canadian and toe the line, you're going to be called an undesirable. And look what is happening in China when it comes to undesirable. You get nothing. You're You're we're talking women and children here. And we're not just talking singles. We're talking women, children, the whole 9 yards. Start looking into it. Do a little research. Okay? Start opening your eyes to the real reality of what the government is trying to do to Canada. It's right there in front of your face. If you know how to read it, it's right there of what they are trying to do. And in this case here, they came on this farm and they did what they did without a test on any of these animals. So, what does that tell you?
Hello there. Thank you for joining us. This is the Rudy Bruce broadcast. You focus on the truth, I focus on the facts. People of Canada, your voice will speak a million strong. If we come together and fight what's going on, we got homeless people living in tents. Be compassionate, do not judge, because 200,000 of us are using food banks. Where's the pride? Where's the pride? Where's our money we slave for? They cover it up. The working man is living poor. Rudy has true leadership, speaking for the ones who are tired of this shit. Make the government officials get a grip, or everyone loses the respect. Something's wrong, open your eyes. They tell us lies, you're blinded to this and more when you're alone. United, we stand, divided, we fall. The time will come, the day is near, we will all march. So listen with your ears, we are not zombies or fresh meat. Let's grind up the government, make compost for the maple trees. Let's avenge the deaths of the ones who have fallen. Coronavirus, opioid, we're still trying. They thought they got away scot-free. We will get the last laugh. Just wait and see. These talks we had on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe we live strong and free. Everyone does. Are you shitting me? Round of applause to you and yours for tuning in. We're opening doors. This is the real movement, people. Let's stand up, Canada, before we lose. These talks we have on the podcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe it's strong and free. Everyone does. Are you kidding me? You and yours for tuning in. We're open doors. This is the real movement. People that stand up, Canada. Let's forward.
Okay, that's it for the show. I just want to remind you, if you can send a donation to savetheostriches.com, you'll find a donation slot in there. If you can, please donate what you can. This is going to be a very big thing for Canada and global, okay? This is huge, okay? You witnessed the most horrendous thing this government has ever done to the people of this country. Now, it's up to us, the people, to fix this government and its bullshit, okay? So that's what this is all about. Getting involved, standing up for your country. Because January, there's going to be some major protests coming up in January. So stay tuned, because we ain't done yet. We just getting started, okay? Mind you, I've been started for a while, but this episode is a new episode in this broadcast, and we're just getting started. So, I'm on the case. You're on the case because you're here. I appreciate you being here. Really, I do. And we're coming up to Christmas, so before I book off here, I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that everything is okay for all of you that tune in, because I know what it's like in our country now. It's not the same, but it's up to us to bring back the change. That's where it lies, ladies and gentlemen. So till next time, I'm just getting the word out there, and I appreciate you coming in, and stay tuned because there's more. Till next time.